Welcome to Cincinnati.com Sports Beyond the Stripes with Paul Daugherty, presented by JoeSfato.com. I am Paul Daugherty Jr. We are here live at the Moerlein Lager House. This is where we cheer. We got a full house tonight, too. In fact, we need to take advantage of this full crowd. We're here at the Moerlein Lager House tonight. That is what I'm talking about. We got a big crowd here tonight because the Bengals are coming off a 42-14 win over the Vikings. And Wallace Gilberry is in the house with us tonight. Thank Wallace for joining us. We will bring him out in a little bit. But first, you have to listen to us talk. Paul Daugherty, 25 years in the business doing this. You continue to wow us with your amazing tomes. Am I gone too far? Is that too much?
No, go ahead. Keep going. We're good. We're good. Yeah.
Great view of another big win for the Bengals. I mean, you had to watch that game and feel like you were seeing something you don't see too often late in December from this team.
Well, it's as Whitworth said afterwards, it's a maturity. It's being able to come back from a difficult loss in Pittsburgh when you basically got buried by a lot of people around here. Not me, you understand.
No.
But a lot of people were very down on this team and wondering, as they always do after a loss, can they come back? And Minnesota was playing very well coming in, and the Bengals simply handed it to them, you know. So it speaks well of the maturity of this team, I think.
Should be said, you predicted it during the week.
I did, as a matter of fact.
The headline said
You're the
Bengals
man tonight,
will
brother.
win. I mean, I'm just saying that is what happened.
That's true.
It was an impressive prediction. Lindsey Patterson, of course, voice of the fan base, always knows everything that's going on with the team. Lindsey, how are we?
Pretty good. I think fans are breathing that sigh of relief after that win yesterday and clinching the division, so everyone's pretty good in Cincinnati.
It was more of a sigh of relief from the fans. I think that's when you play a team that you should beat in a big spot, it was more relief than it was exultation, so to speak.
Yeah, they're doing what they should do in December, beat a bad team pretty badly. You know, other teams kind of have trouble with that. Even some good teams that you would watch yesterday, they had trouble with some teams that they should be able to beat. And the Bengals didn't have a problem with the Vikings, so I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, we saw a lot of teams play bad in big games yesterday. You can look at Miami, you can look at Baltimore, really all around the league. Joe Reedy, favorite on Twitter. Never the Grinch on Christmas, right? And actually, probably always the Grinch on Christmas. I mean, when the Grinch is your Twitter avatar, you've pretty much put it out there that you're going to go ahead and play the role of Grinch.
And I do it very well.
But you're in good spirits tonight. You're in the happy Christmas red. You look great.
Thank you, Paul.
You know, we're in the Christmas spirit, so we have something we want to do here. We want to give gifts. Tonight, we are going to give a gift. Each one of us will give a gift to somebody that hangs out in that building right behind me. Whether it be a player, whether it be a coach, whether it be anybody else that's in that building, pick one thing you want to give to somebody. I will start with you, Joe Reedy. What are you going to give this season to somebody from the Paul Brown Stadium?
I think I'm going to give Marvin Lewis a giant cutout of Susan Lucci, since he compared himself to Susan last year, the quest for the postseason win. Compared himself to the Susan Lucci of NFL head coaches. A giant cutout, so in 2 weeks, if he gets that win, he can start bashing me and everybody else about it, because the giant albatross will be finally rid in terms of that.
And there's no doubt you would get hit over the head with that Susan Lucci cutout.
Oh, no doubt.
Let's be honest. It would be the first order of business once you gave it to him. But you're sorry. So, Lindsey, what's your gift?
All right, I'm going to go with someone who nobody really ever wants to give a gift or credit to. Normally, I'm going to give it to Mike Brown.
What?
I know. Some would say in the past, are you giving him a bubble, maybe a GM? I'm not. I'm going to give him credit. When will he get a little bit of credit for the depth, the roster, the draft, adding scouts 2 years ago, what they've been able to do the last 2 to 3 years over there right behind us? When will he get that credit? So I think I'm going to give it to him. And maybe an iron, too, for some of those shirts.
Are you going to intercept
Doc, are
this
you
gift?
okay over there?
I don't know.
I mean, after I digest that one, you know what? I think generally, if I could give any of those guys a gift over there, it would be good health. This has been a horrendous year for injuries all across the league. It's taken away from the quality of play, and down the road, it's going to take away from the quality of life. Some of these guys, if I could give these guys anything, it would be good health, not only now, but forever and a day.
That's very nice, Doc. Very heartfelt.
Thank you.
You're really in a good mood tonight.
It's Christmas, brother.
It is. Really celebrating. Well, I got a gift. And I'm giving it to Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton has had a great season. By the numbers in this franchise, without doubt, probably the best. 31 touchdowns, 4,015 yards, a 91 rating. By the way, that's one touchdown shy of the franchise record. That's 117 yards shy of the franchise record for yards. But he's taken nothing but heat, and he probably will until he gets the gift that I'm going to give him, which is a good performance in the playoffs. It's the only thing that is keeping it, when people look back on this season as being one of the greats that you've seen in Bengals history, is just how he plays against a good defense in the playoffs. So I'm giving him that gift so he can get some of the credit that he deserves for how well he has played this year and all the heat that he has taken. Reeds, I don't know what you think, but there's been a lot of talk. I think we've talked about Andy Dalton in the first segment of this show every week.
Sure, he's a quarterback.
Every single week. And sometimes he gets hammered, sometimes he gets praised. Now looking at it, we've sort of gotten through the highs and the lows. We can sort of get a good view of it, a good long view. It's been a great season for a quarterback. I mean, I think that has to be the assessment right now.
Yeah, I agree. You see what he did in October. You see kind of the highs and lows, but coming off the bye week, how he's played, might be off AFC Offensive Player of the Week again, which would be the third time he was Offensive Player of the Month in October. In December last year, he was struggling. He wasn't coming into the postseason at the right time. He was sacked 20 times. A lot of those he took on his own and not the offensive line. Only been sacked 3 times this time in December. Doing a nice job of spreading it around. Passes to 8 different receivers on Sunday. I just think he's surging at the right time. This offense is hitting at the right time, 10th in the league. We said they couldn't finish 20th or lower. And right now, he's in a good spot.
And the thing is, though, and Doc, with any quarterback in the league, it's about not seeing pressure. It's about avoiding linemen chasing you down. But I think in Andy Dalton's case, that tends to affect him even more than most in the NFL. If you look, when he is not being touched, like he was Sunday and like he has been in a lot of the games this year, he is tearing teams apart. But the opposite tends to happen when you have those types of pressure issues.
He needs a clean pocket more than most guys. You know what? Numbers are what you look at when you don't watch the games. Mm-hmm. I don't care about numbers. The only number that should matter to Andy Dalton and this football team is 1, which is 1 playoff win, and then 2, which is 2 playoff wins. If he wants to be validated as a good NFL quarterback, it's not about 31 touchdowns, it's not about a 90 passer rating, it's about winning big moments. Yeah. And it starts this weekend against the Ravens.
Yeah, and you're right. Like I was saying, that's exactly it. That's the one thing missing from really completing the circle for him this season. You know what can help him do this? We always do our JoeSfilo.com drive of the game. For me, this game, it's 2 plays, 4 yards for a touchdown. When you have your defense putting you in advantageous situations, Andy Dalton looks great. And they have done that a lot in some of these games. They're putting up 40 points. Lindsay, I mean, isn't that the bigger part of everyone else around him helping to make him better?
No, I agree with that. And we see that at home, what they've been able to do, putting up more than 40 points 4 times at home, which is unbelievable, a franchise record. With the help of everyone, I think they all click. They all go off each other. You hear it in the locker room. When the offense is clicking, the defense is clicking. You know, the special teams will click. All 3 of them, all 3 phases work together, and it does help Andy Dalton. His offensive line has helped him a lot this season, mixing it up with injuries, depth that they have. We talk about it on defense. They have it on that offensive line. So he does have a lot of help, not even mentioning the weapons that he has to throw the ball to.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the other thing is, this team right now may be playing as well in December as we've seen a Marvin Lewis team. You look back '05, that was a team that lost to Buffalo and then pulled starters against Kansas City. '09, they lost 3 of 4. In '11, they sort of backed in. It has a feel of there aren't those holes that you're wondering about going into the playoffs.
Would you have said that sitting here last week after the Pittsburgh game?
Well, obviously, in order to be hot going into the playoffs, it matters what you do in your last 2 to 3 games.
Not necessarily. Why? They were 7-1 in the last 8 last year, right?
That's true.
And they took the L in the first round in Houston.
It can happen that way.
This league, yeah, exactly. It's such an any given Sunday league. It's gotten worse about that, not better. I mean, anybody can beat anybody. New England goes and smokes Baltimore in a big game in Baltimore yesterday. Who would have thought that? Not me. I mean, and I'm not knocking this team. They've been as consistent as anybody else. But anybody seems to be able to beat anybody in this league at any time. And the fact that you win 42-14 yesterday has absolutely no bearing on how you're going to play this Sunday or the Sunday after that.
It does mean they are playing well and seem to have found themselves. I mean, I don't think that can be denied. They do have
for a
things
week,
figured out how
they
they're
played
going to
great.
win.
1 week they played great.
They've played great. They've played good football over the last month and a half, really. I mean, if you're looking at you have the one loss in there. You're absolutely right, though.
It's a week-to-week
league.
Yes,
and
sir.
until they win a playoff game, the same questions will exist. But you've heard enough from us. We've got Wallace Gilberry in the house, so we're not going to hold him back anymore. We're going to bring Wallace up. But for right now, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on Beyond the Stripes with Paul Daugherty, presented by JosephAuto.com.
Do not, I repeat, do not buy a 2013 Chevy from another dealer. Not when you can get a 2014 from Joseph Chevrolet for the same price or less. Seriously, Joseph Chevrolet's 2014s are a better deal than anyone else's 2013s. $129 a month for a new Cruise? Up to $6,500 off a 2014 Silverado? Now that's a clearance sale. Don't pay more for a 2013 than a 2014. Come to Joseph Chevrolet now.
Uncle Ray.
Where should we go to eat tonight?
How are the Reds doing?
What time does the movie start?
Did you hear about the new Bengals
Check
player?
out this photo gallery.
Did you check out the bands coming to the
Sure.
That's
the story.
Sure, what? If you don't read The Inquirer at Cincinnati.com, you're missing out on what everyone's talking about. Breaking news, the best local events calendar, and in-depth stories. Updated all day long. Subscribe now at Cincinnati.com/subscribe. The Inquirer and Cincinnati.com. It's what everyone's talking about.
All right, welcome back to Cincinnati.com Sports Beyond the Stripes. Paul Daugherty, presented by JosephAuto.com. We are now joined up here on the desk by our guest tonight, Wallace Gilberry. Let's hear it for Wallace Gilberry. Wallace, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I was talking to you in the locker room last week, and we were talking about the fact that you were leading the team in sacks with 7.5 at this point in the season, just barely nipping Carlos Dunlap.
Yeah.
And I asked you if there's a friendly competition, and you said, of course, but it's not friendly.
No, not at all.
These guys that you play with, there is a whole lot of competition, and there's great chemistry on this defensive line. Is it as good as anywhere you've ever been?
Without a doubt. And Kansas City was pretty good with Tom Bahali and Justin Houston, but, we got 5 guys that can get to the quarterback. And when you got that kind of energy and that kind of experience, it's pretty exciting.
You seem to typify what this defense is all about. And we've heard this from guys that we've had up here in the past. Zimmer plays upon it. Undrafted, unwanted, this. You started out, we'll give this is your life. Giants cut you, right? Kansas City picks you up. You have 3 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah.
They let you go. No deal after the year, right?
Yep.
You go to Tampa, they release you 1 or 2 weeks into the season in 2012. These guys pick you up. You got a 3-year deal in March here. My question to you is, 1, this is a cruel damn business, is it not?
Without a doubt.
And 2, what is it about Cincinnati that has caused you to stick, fit in, shine, what have you?
I mean, you kind of touched on it when you said Coach Zimmer. He kind of feeds off of guys like myself who's had a track record of being disrespected, being, kind of the underdog for so long, and it's proven. I feel like I'm proven in this league, and he feels like I'm proven in this league, and he's gave me the opportunity on a different platform, and like you say, the reputation speaks for itself.
Yeah.
It just seems seemed like after the game yesterday, that locker room felt like a loss. You guys just weren't impressed with what you do out there. You just go each week, try to win, and that's just normal.
Yeah, because like you say, we've been in situations this whole year where we should have done better, could have done better. If we win last week, this game really doesn't matter. So that's how we were feeling. We let that one get away. We let a couple of games get away. So we just want to just keep doing what we're doing. We know if we win next week, we put ourselves in a better situation and be better in the playoffs. So we just want to hold on to it and just keep rising.
How soon did you find out that you guys got the playoff spot? You clinched a playoff spot.
I don't know. I didn't even really care about it.
Didn't even care.
Nah, we got to beat Baltimore regardless. It didn't matter.
Your last two stops, Kansas City, 2011. DeHaley coaching change, went to RAC. Last year, Tampa Bay, Greg Schiano and all that stuff. How much of coming here and the stability, how much has that helped that you kind of know where you are and how everything develops?
It makes a big difference. When you come into work and you're not, worried about if you're going to be there, if your position coach is going to be there, if your head coach or GM going to be there. That's a lot of variables. Once you can, erase that out of your mind and just focus on the game plan and focus on, being who you are for the team and the situation, it makes everything easier. We got this saying around the locker room, if Mr. Brown like you, you're Bengals for life. Because you got, like you said, you got guys around here that's been here for years. In other situations where I've been, it's a revolving door. I've seen in one week 7 guys get cut. I haven't seen 7 guys get cut in 2 years. I've been here in Cincinnati. So it definitely adds more comfort and more stability to the whole situation other than just playing football.
We know Greg Schiano is not on your Christmas card list. We know you're probably not going to send him anything.
A box of coal.
But I wanted to talk a little bit about your background. You're from Alabama, went down that way, went to Alabama. You have your entire family tree tattooed on your back.
Yeah,
you have a literal family tree that goes from your neck to your waist. Where did you come up with that idea, and how did that all come to? Why did you do it?
Well, like you said, growing up in Alabama, I'm from a small city where everybody knows everybody. And I never met my father, so when I got able to work, I've always been the man in the house. And before my grandmother passed from breast cancer 4 years back, she always told me, son, whatever you do, I want you to take care of your family. So everywhere I went, I always feel like I got my family on my back. So why not literally put my family on my back? So that's where it came from.
Have you added people? Are there plans to add more people to the tree?
Yeah, they keep having kids, and so right now I got to add 2 more when I go home.
You're gonna run out of back. How long did it take to do the original piece of art?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I like inflicting pain, but I don't like receiving pain. My tattoo guy, he hates when I come in because I let him work for 3 minutes and I leave, and he won't see me again for a week. And
so
then I come
3
back.
minutes at a time, it must have taken about 15 years to get that done.
Nah, about a year.
A year.
Yeah, about a year. And it's like you said, it's still unfinished.
One branch at a time.
One
right?
branch at a time. That's it.
You literally walk in and say, give me my 3 minutes worth, and then
That's
walk
it.
back out.
Yeah, in and out.
Why does the guy put up with that?
He's a Bama fan.
Okay, that's all we need to know. That's all we need. You said that rushing the passer is an art. I saw you quoted saying that. What does that mean? Why is it an art form to be able to rush the passer well?
Because when you're watching football, for some like a couple of you guys, you understand the concept of the game. Most people just look at it as just guys out there running around. You hear such and such has a sack, such and such making a tackle. But it's a lot that goes into that. Like, when you see a guy that has 18 sacks on a year, that's a guy that's really dedicated to his craft. Because you don't just fall into 18 sacks. You may fall into 1 or 2 or, unblock, the line slide, hard right, come get a good off. But it's an art. And it's kind of hard to explain because a lot of stuff that I do on the field is like off of instinct.
Sure.
But in the off season, I work on it. It's not just like I go home to Alabama and I hunt and fish all day, which I kind of do. But when I'm not hunting and fishing, I'm working on my craft because at the end of the day, that's what pays the bill.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are undefeated over there right now. You played in Kansas City, a place where it's hard to play with the atmosphere. Is there any similarities at Paul Brown Stadium now?
It is. Kansas City, I'm going to be honest, it's quite louder, because I don't know, I guess the dynamics of how the stadium is built. But, coming into the jungle, it's a gloomy place. Like, I remember when I was in Kansas City 2 years ago, we came here, And you guys beat us, and it was just a hole. Like once you go down and you get their fans behind them, it's hard to come out of that. And that's what we've been doing. We start off hot and get our fans behind us, and you can see them sucking the life out of the opponents. And like you said, we're undefeated this year.
Heard a story about you earlier today because you've taken to the community, community's taken to you. Friday after you guys got done, heard you made a visit to the Free Store Food Bank, completely unannounced, helped hand out produce and holiday stuff. Just what made you decide to do it, and what was the look on people's faces when they saw you?
I was out doing some late Christmas shopping, and I passed by the Free Store Food Bank on my way to the store, and I didn't know what it was. I just saw a couple of people had like yellow vests on, pushing buggies. And so when I came back through, I realized what was going on. Like it was kind of like a revolving door. There was a line going in and a line coming out. So I pulled over and asked the police officer, is there anything I can do to help, or could I help? And he went and got the PR lady, Miss Sarah, and she didn't know how to play for the Bengals. I just told her I wanted to help, and I tried to keep it a secret because it was, I wasn't there for me. And I looked up and I was there for 2 hours. But it was exciting, man. And she once she realized who I was, and the word got around, it kind of like got out of hand a little bit. That's why I had to leave. But it was exciting, seeing looks on those people's faces. They were so thankful, and so in giving it to receive, what I look at as a small gift, but to them, it's a big deal. Because she gave me statistics: 380,000 families, go without knowing where their next meal is gonna come from. And in the position I'm in, I don't think about that. I make plenty of money. I eat at nice restaurants whenever I want to. So being over there kind of put a lot of stuff in perspective, because growing up, I was once that child, not knowing where my next meal was coming from. So it kind of put everything in perspective for me once again.
Absolutely. That's fantastic, Wallace. So I also, when we come over to the stadium, there's a parking lot. We as media park in the same lot as you guys. And I cannot even park next to your truck because I am intimidated. I feel like I will bring down the property value of it just by being in the spot next to it. It is a massive truck. I don't even know how to describe this thing.
My son calls it Optimus Prime.
It is so high off the ground that I don't even know how to get to the top of it. Tell me about your truck. Did you always want to have something that just intimidated the crap out of people when you rolled up to a light?
I did. I did. I'm not even gonna lie. I wanted it, and I was telling you earlier, it gets higher than that. But I think Cincinnati has a limit on, so I don't want to, get my truck repossessed or anything like that. So I kind of keep it. But I say in Alabama it's normal. A lot of my friends, a lot of my guys, you may see a parking lot full of those trucks. You don't see too many black people driving them, but you see a parking lot full of them. So when I get out of it, they looking like, oh, what is he doing in that truck? So I love it, man. I get a kick out of it.
Your son calls it what?
Optimus Prime. Like you say, the whole truck is matte black. It's blacked out, black wheels, black grill, black lights. At nighttime, you cut off, you can't even see it coming down the road.
It's got the smokestack exhaust that come out the top, and it goes, you just told me earlier before the show, it can go to the ground, or it can go 18 feet up. So you can move it however low or high you want.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky because you mess around and get it 18 feet and the airbags go out, you're kind of in trouble. Because like you said, it's a long way down.
Now tell us what the need is for a vehicle that you can lift 18 feet off the ground. Why?
We call it creek jumping.
Creek jumping?
Yeah, so what we do is, back in Alabama, we have say this is a creek. I back my truck up to the creek, and we jump off a tailgate. So the higher the truck is, the higher elevation you got.
So like a diving board.
Exactly.
That's why you get a truck that goes up 18 feet. That's crazy.
Have you ever jumped off the back of your truck before?
No comment.
I want to know how it is on the snow and ice.
Perfect. I did a show at the Buffalo Wild Wings, and it was when it snowed real bad. And cars was put on the side of the road. Optimus Prime was just moving on. They were looking at me like they was envying it, but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we are not done with Wallace Gilberry. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk plenty more with Wallace, more about him. Let's hear it for Wallace Gilberry coming out here tonight. Great having him. We'll be right back here on Beyond the Stripe, presented by JosephAuto.com.
Chris, how you doing?
Hey, what's happening? This place looks awesome. Brand new showroom, brand new service department. Now all I need is a new caddy. I'm thinking the North American Car of the Year, the ATS right here. What do you think?
Nice car, Chris, and only $299 a month. But a guy your size, you need the comfort, the technology that this car has. The XTS for only $399 a month.
For $100 more, I can do this?
$100.
I'll win that from you on the golf course. Come on, let's do it.
Compliments of Camargo Cadillac.
Where should we go to eat tonight?
How are the Reds doing?
What time does the movie start?
Did you hear about the new Bengals
Check
player?
out this photo gallery.
Did you check out the bands coming to the
shared
summer
this
festival?
with you.
I missed the story.
Sure, what?
If you don't read The Inquirer at Cincinnati.com, you're missing out on what everyone's talking about. Breaking news, the best local events calendar, and in-depth stories. Updated all day long. Subscribe now at Cincinnati.com/subscribe. The Inquirer at Cincinnati.com. It's what everyone's talking about.
The Moerlein Lager House is Cincinnati's premier brew pub. The restaurant features impressive lunch and dinner menus, as well as a wide selection of beer and other drinks. The Lager House is also proud to continue Cincinnati's brewing heritage by brewing their own fresh craft beer on site. Conveniently located along the riverfront, the Moerlein Lager House offers spectacular views while you dine. Moerlein Lager House. Celebrate the past, taste the future.
All right, welcome back to Cincinnati.com Sports Beyond the Stripes, presented by JosephAuto.com. We're still here at the Moerlein Lager House, hanging out with Wallace Gilberry, so we're going to continue talking with him. Big crowd here tonight. They packed it for you, Wallace. They came to see you, your show.
I'm impressed.
They heard the team, a guy who's now unfortunately tied for the sack lead.
Unfortunately.
Is here. You were close, though. You were close to getting it when they split that half
I
sack.
wanted to trip him up, but it would have showed up on tape.
I want to ask you about your alma mater. You were there before Saban showed up and changed everything. It wasn't the best of times for Alabama football.
No, it wasn't.
But so now that you've seen the resurrection, are you jealous
Not
that
at all.
these guys get it, or are you more proud of it?
Not at all. I'm definitely proud of it. I actually have a lot of 3-4 family members on the team, so I'm definitely, it's nothing to be jealous of. I'm a diehard. I've been an Alabama fan since I could, say Roll Tide. So to see us going in a powerful direction, to see Coach Saban invest another 10 years in the program, I'm happy for him.
I asked Dre the same thing I'm going to ask you. Growing up in Alabama, had you not attended the University of Alabama, or worse, gone to Auburn, would you have been allowed to come home? Would you have needed like a police escort to get you to and from?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Without a
There
doubt.
you go.
Yeah, without a doubt. It is no gray area. A good friend of mine, Jamarcus Russell, he left and went to LSU.
Yep.
And when he come back home, they throwing stones at him.
Literally.
He's an outcast.
Then you made the right choice.
Yes.
One day in the locker room, you were showing me some pictures of getting in the CBS production truck.
Yeah.
You were so excited about that. Is broadcasting the life after football?
It might be. I have my degree in television broadcasting communication, so this is normal to me. Being up here with you guys, having fun. It's kind of like playing football. Everybody has a job to do. These guys have a job to do. You guys have a job to do. And if one person is not on time or not on beat, it doesn't look good. So I like teamwork, and this is like I said, closest thing to football outside of football has been, and you're still around it.
Chris Crocker did the off-season broadcasting boot camp. I know active players can do it also. Is that something you could see yourself doing one off-season?
It's kind of strenuous on me because I have a lot tied into my community back home. So when every opportunity I get, to be in the community with those kids, I do it. So I don't really, when I'm done here, I'm in Alabama, working with my youth camp, working on just building up my community. So I really don't have time right now, but once I get done playing, it might be something I can jump into. But right now, I'm just focusing on Cincinnati to Alabama.
There's always a fun thing whenever a lineman gets the ball and looks like he's going to go score. It's the, fat guy touchdown coming, right? You got one last year.
Yeah, I did.
You got one last. Is that when you score a touchdown? Because that's the only one you've ever had, right?
Yes.
Is that how's that rank with greatest NFL moments? Is that up there when you get to score the touchdown?
Yeah, that I have to say was my greatest moment in the NFL. Because like you say, and they say I got kind of insulted by the fat man touchdown. I don't consider myself fat, but I understand where they're coming from with it. But it was definitely one of the highlights of my career, most definitely.
Did you? I'm trying to remember. Did you do a dance?
I did. I'm not much of a dancer, but I can boogie a little bit.
Yeah.
Was it good? Was it a good dance?
My mom said it was horrible.
She said it was horrible. Your mom is the judge.
Yeah, she is.
She practiced it.
Yeah.
We had a guy here. You might have heard him. You might not. Chad Johnson. He tended to practice his dances, so he knew what he was doing before he scored.
Yeah, Chad got too much time on his hand.
Yeah, Chad had too much time. That he did. To me, I'm continually amazed this year. I'm going to ask you a football question for a change. Gino, Robert Gathers, Leon Hall, Maualuga's out for a while. You keep losing Terrence Newman. You keep losing people. But there's been no drop-off in the production. Why is that, beyond the obvious that you have so much depth?
Because when you look at our roster, we don't have, if you put out a piece of paper and you look at it, I mean, A.J. Green is going to, he's going to stand out. Geno Atkins is going to stand out. Andy Dalton is going to stand out. But the guys that, Mr. Brown has brought in, like myself, Devin Steele, Brandon Thompson, you haven't heard of them, but, we're warriors. We've been in situations and we've proven ourselves. So when Geno goes down, you got guys like myself, Brandon Thompson, Devin Steele. I'm not going to say we're that caliber of Geno Atkins, but we have the skill set to get the job done, without missing and beating. That's what you're saying.
And the confidence that you can do it.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you've done it before.
Absolutely.
I mean, you've been cut enough, and this is a whole lot better than getting cut.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to say that we talked earlier about giving gifts and things like that and staying healthy. That has been a problem during the year. But Doc gave the gift of health, and which we were talking about gifts. You were in the locker room this week talking to everybody about Christmas. There was some interesting stuff going in there. I believe even your favorite gifts were brought up at one point.
We did bring up my favorite gifts. I surprised a couple players, told them about Santa Claus. I feel kind of bad right now. But no, we shared what their favorite gifts were. My name's Lindsay Patterson, and we spent the day in the Bengals lock not to find the X's and O's, but their favorite holiday traditions and their favorite toy from Santa Claus when they were a kid. Christmas toy as a child.
Oh, God. I was into Legos. I always liked building, to tell you the truth. That's probably why I was a construction management major.
G.I. Joes back in the day. I used to love some G.I. Joes, and then also my Bigfoot Ford F-150 electric car.
All right. What was your favorite holiday tradition when you were a kid?
Now, good old Louisiana grandma cooking.
My mom always made chitlins and pig feet, so that would have to be it.
It had to be when I was little, and on Christmas Eve when we had our big family party, the adults used to always trick the kids and tell them that we were going to look for Santa, and then we'd come back and we'd walk in the door and, oh my gosh, you just missed him, and there's presents all over the place, so that had to be it.
Just Christmas, just opening your gifts. I mean, that just, as a kid, I think that's just the most special thing, and I'm sure my parents, them looking at how my reaction was, because that's what I just want to see with my daughter, how her eyes light up and just, how happy she is. That's probably the best thing about the holiday season.
And when did you find out Santa Claus wasn't real?
I found out pretty early. I would say about 7 or 8 years old. And my granddad was like, I'm Santa Claus. I ain't no damn Santa Claus. So, yeah.
He's not real?
Well, I hope I didn't spoil Santa Claus for too many of the players in the locker room. I think my favorite toy when I was a kid, a Barbie Jeep. Wow.
That looked good.
Oh, wow.
Is that you in a pink
scary.
Barbie truck there?
Yeah. Did a really great
Do you still
job.
have your Barbie truck?
No.
No?
I mean, I was an awful driver. I still am. But,
So you're an awful driver, so that's why you don't have it?
Well, no. I mean, I tried to practice with the Barbie Jeep, but,
Yeah.
I didn't get any better.
That was the problem. It's not really a functional car. That's probably the issue.
That's probably right.
All right, Joe, it's about that time. It's time where we're gonna be nice, though. I thought we're gonna try to be nice to each other because it's Christmas. We're not gonna be angry. We will debate. We will prove our points, but we're not gonna be mean. Can we promise
And
that?
I will blank you again.
Or you're just gonna start like that. That's completely unnecessary. All right, debate topic number 1 tonight. Who would you least like to play if you were the Bengals in the first round of the playoffs? If you were in the 3-6, who would you least like to play?
I'm going to say the Miami Dolphins just for this one reason. Kevin Coyle making his return to Cincinnati with that defense and knowing this team and this offense is a dangerous thing. And Ryan Tannehill has played well the past couple times. Miami struggled a little bit, but a couple late drives. But give me Kevin Coyle coming back here. It's a dangerous proposition.
That's fair. But to me, the last thing you want to see is a division rival. These teams in this division are built to win games in this division. They're built to play that tough physical football that knows how to shut down the other teams. That's why you don't want to see the Pittsburgh Steelers at this point, because it's the Steelers. It's what they are, and you put Big Ben and Tomlin with that relief of having fought their way back and all of that momentum. You just don't want to see that. You don't want to see life having been breathed into those guys after as far as they had to come back and the type of football they played. The division rival, plus the amount of extra security you'd have to pay just to deal with all the possible fights that could happen in the stands that game alone. It's a financial windfall.
That place could be like Pompeii if there's a Bengals-Steelers game. We all remember 05.
No, it would not be pretty. All right, number 2. Let's go. Let's have some fun here. Best Christmas movie for you, Joe?
It's a Wonderful Life, hands down.
Oh, you're
Jimmy
such a
Stewart,
softie.
The classic. I get emotional every time I view the last half hour of that movie.
Emotional Joe Reedy?
It does hit a soft spot. It doesn't happen too much. Maybe the last 10 minutes of The Grinch, too, when his heart expands 3 times its size. But Christmas classic, and it does teach a message. What's a man without friends? Of course, I might know more than anybody what a man without friends is. But
I was going to say, for me, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is the funniest movie of all time for the Christmas season. It's hilarious. I mean, falls down a well, eyes go crossed, kicked in the head by a mule, eyes go uncrossed. I don't know. Is maybe the funniest line from that movie that just cracks me up every day. I mean, you're talking pure comedy. It's a Christmas season. Let's laugh. Let's enjoy family for everything that's wrong with them and learn to love the holidays. I'm giving you comedy and a good message.
But
what else do you want?
Chevy Chase holding his boss hostage and almost creating a SWAT standoff?
But at the end, we learned a lesson, Joe. At the end, we learned the lesson that really it's all about family and doing what's right, even if you're the evil CEO.
You learn a lesson in It's a Wonderful Life, and an angel earns his wings.
But you don't give me any comedy in It's a Wonderful Life. All you give me is a lesson. I'm delivering 2 things here,
Christmas.
2 for 1. Boom. I'll take that one. All right, number 3. Most overrated Christmas activity. What do you got?
I got eggnog. What's the point of it? It's like 18th, 19th century England going tobogganing and Yule logs and all that and mistletoe, and mistletoe's overrated too. But
you only get one.
I'll give eggnog first.
All right, eggnog. That's pretty strong. Eggnog's pretty atrocious. For me, caroling. Who's going caroling around the neighborhood and singing songs? Here's the thing. I'm with my family on Christmas. I don't need you bringing your awful singing family to my front door, ringing my doorbell, so we have to sit there and listen to you guys sing and break up us having our own family time.
Man.
Stay in your house, sing your carols by yourself, have your own good time. I don't need you coming around ringing my doorbell and wasting my time. I hate caroling and people that do it. Sorry, my parents did it at one point in time. That's probably where a lot of this comes
Carolers at the end of this show will be scrolling Paul Daugherty Jr.'s address.
Yes.
So tomorrow or Wednesday you can come by his house and carol.
Please do not come carol at me at all.
Do I get to adjudicate?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. What
I'm
do you
going to
got?
make this quick and sweet. You guys said Miami and Pittsburgh. I'd say Baltimore. You want to have to beat Baltimore 2 weeks in a row, not me. Elvis Doomerville around the edge, not fun. Baltimore. Christmas Vacation or It's a Wonderful Life. Christmas Vacation, hands down. It was funny. I want to laugh on Christmas Eve. Christmas Vacation. Eggnog or caroling. I go decorating outside, man. I hate decorating the outside. People, I am so bad at it that people in my neighborhood come around just to watch me do it so they can laugh.
You got stuck on the roof this year.
That's a whole nother story. But decorating the trees outside and the bushes and all that nonsense, that is the worst. So I'm not awarding anybody any points this time because I didn't agree with anything.
Didn't I get the second one?
You got Christmas Vacation.
1-0. That's like a soccer win. I'll take it.
Do we give it to him for 1-0?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right,
1-0 is a win. I'll take it.
All right.
And you hate soccer, though.
I do hate soccer, but I won one. I don't care. I like winning, so I'll take that. All right, I won, but we're not done yet. Doc is going to put Wallace Gilberry on the hot seat when we come back, so make sure you stick around for that on Beyond the Stripes, presented by JosephAuto.com.
Do not, I repeat, do not buy a 2013 Chevy from another dealer. Not when you can get a 2014 from Joseph Chevrolet for the same price or less. Seriously, Joseph Chevrolet's 2014s are a better deal than anyone else's 2013s. $129 a month for a new Cruise? Up to $6,500 off a 2014 Silverado? Now that's a clearance sale. Don't pay more for a 2013 than a 2014. Come to Joseph Chevrolet now.
Uncle Ray.
Where should we go to eat tonight?
How are the Reds doing?
What time does the movie start?
Did you hear about the new Bengals
Check
player?
out this photo gallery.
Did you check out the bands coming to the
shared
store?
this
Great. I just missed the story.
Sure, what?
If you don't read The Inquirer at Cincinnati.com, you're missing out on what everyone's talking about. Breaking news, the best local events calendar, and in-depth stories. Updated all day long. Subscribe now at Cincinnati.com/subscribe. The Inquirer at Cincinnati.com. It's what everyone's talking about.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us down here, and thanks for watching online. And now we begin to judge the 2013 Cincinnati Bengals. For 16 weeks and 15 games, we've withheld the ultimate call on what has been a very pleasant team to watch. Starting now is what we've all been waiting for. The regular season finale on Sunday offers a telling prologue to what could be a decisive postseason for the Bengals franchise, one way or another. Win at least one playoff game, validate this season. In fact, validate the last 3 seasons. Andy Dalton can tune up Sunday with a win over a team that has beaten him 4 out of 5 times. A good team, a potential first-round opponent. Fair or not, Dalton and the Bengals are in the same spot they were in back in August. Getting to the playoffs is no longer enough. If the Bengals don't win this year at home, the season will be considered a failure. And Dalton will start being labeled as a talented guy who can't take his team to a title. Will this January be as different as the expectations? We'll see. Meantime, the Bengals can't savor a division title. Their work is only just beginning. And now, my friend, after that brilliant commentary, you are on the hot seat. Wallace Gilberry, what in life is better than sacking a quarterback? And remember, this is a family show.
What in life is better than sacking a quarterback?
Yes, sir.
Having my mom here at the game watching me do it.
Who is better at it right now than you are?
I would have to go with the Indianapolis Colts, Mathis.
Robert Mathis.
Robert Mathis.
And that's it. All right. Who wins in arm wrestling, you or Carlos Dunlap?
I will crush Carlos Dunlap in arm wrestling.
A mixed martial arts contest between you and Michael Johnson. Who wins?
Michael has long arms, but I will find a way to crush Michael Johnson in mixed martial arts.
Did you ever beat up a kid for his lunch money?
Yes. but let me explain. Let me explain. He was the bully. He was the bully.
Oh,
so
it
started off, he was going to attempt to beat me up for my lunch money, and it ended up going the other way around.
How big were you when you were little?
A little big.
A little big. Were you always bigger than everyone else?
Depending on the crowd I was around.
Would you rather sack Tom Brady or have a date with Beyonce?
Sack him after the date with Beyonce.
No. Now, I have heard that you're a funny guy. People regard you as a funny guy. Make me laugh. I mean, right now.
Laugh. All right, you don't have to.
Tell me a joke. A clean joke.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
You laughed.
All right, then. Touche. We got to get this guy out of here. He's smarter than I am. There was a certain bet that you made in your Rolls-Royce Phantom. Am I right about this?
Yeah.
You have a friend, Alan Belcher, who is a mixed martial artist.
Yes.
You bet his opponent, one Michael Bisping.
Yeah, Mr. Bisping.
The pink slip to your Phantom.
Mm-hmm.
If he could knock your friend out in the first round.
True.
How nervous were you started that fight?
Not at all. Given Bisping's, his track record, he's never had a knockout in his career. And I've trained with Alan Belcher for the past 4 years, and he has a steel jaw. So I knew it was going to be, I'm not going to say impossible because anything is possible, but it was definitely going to be difficult. And it didn't happen. He didn't accept the bet, so no harm, no foul.
He didn't accept the bet?
Nah.
Let me read what you, I guess you tweeted this perhaps. You see, Bisping, that we're sitting in a $300,000 car. You knock my man out, we got the slips. And I'm sure you got something to that value. So you put your slips up or whatever tickles my fancy, and I'll put the Phantom up. You knock my man out in the first round, it's yours. Word is bond, Mr. Bisping.
Quote unquote.
He didn't go for that.
No, he didn't. He took a couple shots back at us, which was kind of humorous, but it was all in the fun of the sport.
Would you have paid up had he knocked your man out in the first round?
I'm a man of my word. It would have been a tough pill to swallow, but I would definitely paid up.
Which is better, the truck that goes up 18 feet high or the $300,000 Rolls Royce? In case I want to buy one or the other one.
Depend on what kind of event I'm at. The truck is, it's fun for mud riding. I would never take my Phantom mud riding. Okay. So it depends on the event that I'm at.
Would you rather have your Rolls-Royce Phantom or my 2002 Toyota Solara with 230,000 miles on it?
I'll take your Toyota Solara.
You're a liar. We have people on this show who can do things other than play football.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything that you can do? Marvin Jones sang for us twice.
Mm-hmm.
George Iloka did a little yoga. Drake or Patrick made a snowball, which is big given he'd never seen snow before. What is it that you can do that would wow us beyond sacking quarterbacks?
I would have to say I'm pretty impressive at paper, rock, scissors.
All right, let's go. Can we do it?
Yes.
Real quick?
Absolutely.
All right, you ready? We'll do it 2 out of 3. What if I win? Do I get that Phantom if I win? 2 out of 3. You ready?
You ready? Okay, well hold on. Let's exactly. You got to establish the rules.
Once, twice, 3, shoot.
So it's 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Correct. Ready?
Right? Yeah.
Once, twice, 3, shoot.
I won.
That's a win.
We got 2 out of 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
ready?
Once, twice, 3, shoot.
Oh,
1 and 1.
Decisive.
I got to think about this.
Don't overthink it.
All right. Once, twice, 3, shoot.
Yes!
Yes!
Hey, he cheated.
I
He
did
cheated.
not.
He
These
He
people here saw
hesitated.
this.
He hesitated
That
on
is-
the. Yeah,
That was
exactly.
questionable.
Exactly.
Oh,
He
you need to
hesitated on the
review
third.
the
No.
We may
Yeah,
need to
roll
review
the
the
tape
tape
back.
on that and see the hesitation.
Yeah.
You people
Yeah.
know I
Wait to
didn't
see
cheat.
it, and then
you
you threw
know
it.
this.
Do we need Jeff Triplett?
Yeah, Jeff Triplett is. If he's near, we'll go to the review booth and check that out.
Well,
Without a doubt.
when I cruise to the stadium on Sunday in my Rolls-Royce Phantom, you'll know what the review said.
He's got the slips.
Wallace Gilberry, you are off the hot seat. Thank you for being a good sport.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you, Wallace Gilberry. Let's hear it for Wallace Gilberry, everybody. Absolutely, Wallace Gilberry, fantastic. Well, as always, we'll continue to bring you this show with the Bengals next Monday. Remember, we're on Mondays until we get through the end of this year with the holidays. So 7 o'clock next Monday, playoff preview show. Chris Crocker will be back and join us to preview the playoffs. Make sure you check that out. At Paul Daugherty Jr., at Lindsey Patterson, at Joe Reedy, at Inquirer Doc. Follow us on Twitter, Cincinnati.com. Everything's there. Make sure you watch us on the tablet. The podcast scribe session will be up tomorrow. Make sure you check that out too. Thank you for watching Beyond the Stripes with Paul Daugherty, Presented by josephato.com.